And of course, we have the most lit panel to discuss all of this and so much more. It's time for hashtag TTT, the trending talkers. My lords are in the house. Anita Nderu, what's up?
Hey, how are you doing? Nice to see you again.
Good. Karibu sana. Cindy Ogana.
Hey, Jeff, how you doing?
Hey,
Hey, Anita. Jeff's wife is doing a good job. You're very well-rounded.
Wow. Thank you. As in out of the... Yeah, chill, relax, I haven't even started. Why? Welcome to the show.
Jeff Mote.
Yes, sir.
Tao moja.
Sema.
Oh my God, you're so
Jeff Tao.
soft-spoken.
Yeah.
OG.
Umenitupa maze.
Tupo. Tumepatana maze. Tumepatana hapa on the trend.
Uonekani Nairobi. Tangu uanze kuvaa masuti za politician.
Tuwapole tafadhali. Tukue wapole tuone the next election. Sawa. Okay, guys, let's start things off. And I mean, Mombasa was just, So, car thieves stole a car in Mombasa, but before they could make away with it, a snake appears on the steering wheel and tells them, I kid you not, "Hii gari amtaiuza." Okay, I imagine that's how the conversation went. The snake probably even introduced itself first. Mie naitwa nyoka abdara. This may sound like a great script for a Tanzanian horror movie, but come on, it's too much for the human senses. You must have heard your own version of this witchcraft drama that happened in Bamburi this week. Now, these two gentlemen who danced around naked around a stolen car, turns out all of this was stage managed. And this is actually what Wagangas are doing to attract customers. Question is, how much would you do for such a stunt? Anita, how much?
There is no amount of money under the sun that I will ever accept. First of all, I'm petrified of snakes. I didn't even want to see that video. A colleague of mine sent me a text and said, don't open the WhatsApp video that has a car because there's a snake involved. Because I usually just throw my phone when I see any sort of snake. Nothing will make me stand around dancing around a car naked with a snake over my... Oh my God, no. And also, how I thought the Waganga biashara never goes down, or is it because the politicians' posters took up everywhere so nobody was seeing theirs? Because those guys apparently are always in business. So for them to do this stunt just so that they can get customers, I mean, just pray, yeah? God will give you what you need.
Competition is thick. Cindy, I know you're an Afro cinema queen. Che, what happened, Bwana?
Hey, Che. Let me tell you something. I'd like to be a fly in the wall when they were interviewing these two guys. So the Mganga is like, yo, it's time to expand the business. What do you guys think about walking around naked? Because let me tell you, those guys took twerk to another level. I was watching some certain corners of the videos. I was like, these guys are not actors. These guys are from the strip club. They were acting like they were doing it for 50 bob. Now,
They probably were.
Yeah, right? It's just so interesting that later on it turned out that it was fake. I personally believed it because, you know, people are like,
serious?
Mombasa utajua haujui. That is now the slogan for Mombasa. But the fact that it turned out to be fake, I'm just surprised the extent somebody would go to get business so that they can roga people. Like, that's advertising one-on-one. This guy should be given a medal.
I'm
Also,
telling you.
Cindy, did you know that it was illegal to own a snake?
Now we know.
Now
You
I'm
know.
Well,
just like, I did not know this.
Now you
Some
know.
of us are dating them. We don't know we need to
Oh,
register
come
them.
on, guys. Okay, hold on that one.
Okay.
And I know for very many guys, it was actually hard looking at your fellow man naked. Why? Uliweza?
Jeff,
Hey.
unajua ni job. This is a job. This guy is working. This guy is on payroll. Kwanza unajua hapo kanono. For the first time when I looked at him, I was like, what is Jeff Mote doing?
Oh, come on. Clearly,
Don't just say that.
YY had been working on that all through this week. He was like, where do I drop it?
You're well-rounded.
Take a close up. Angalia picha. Vizuri. Jeff kwa mbali.
We need a
Why?
wide-angle lens.
But then again, to be honest, if I have to go this extreme, kulipia watoi school fees, alafu mtoto anguke shule, watoto wengine pia wanazoea wazazi.
By the way.
Let's move away from all that madness in Mombasa to waheshimiwa manenos. Watu, one of the mandates of the Senate is oversight, technically to watch over Mwananchi's resources. Then there's this picture from this week whereby a group of leaders, including Elgeyo Marakwet Senator Kipchumba Murkomen, are pictured providing an interesting form of oversight. Hii ni ofisi ama this picture has been taken out of context? Guys, why? Kani ofisi unajua hii maneno? What's happening?
All right. Now, let me tell you something, Jeff. It's a man's personality. We cannot avoid it. First of all, men adore pretty things. If you see a beautiful woman, you want to do something to them. Even if it's water, amebewa maji unamwambia, hey, can I help you carry this? You understand? But then again, let me bring it to one point. Why did we even vote these people? We voted these people because we want development. Tunataka hawa watu watupeleke mbele, but they are looking behind.
What does that have to do with anything?
Tunataka kwenda mbele, but wanaangalia nyuma, ona.
Okay.
Kenya is moving forward.
Cindy.
Vision 2030.
Ndio hiyo.
Let me tell you, Timafisi will always be there. We all know that. Macho hayana pazia. But you know, I was just thinking about the MP's name, Sabina. There are just some names you don't name your toys when you're in Kenya. By the way, Sabina, who? You know, Obama, Chiloba. There are just some names you don't name your kids when you're in Kenya.
Shots are being fired.
The guys had with, you know, Honorable Sabina and all the joy she brought to the MPs.
Cindy. Anita.
That's exactly what I was thinking. But now that she said it, I just found it funny. I mean, they're guys, and I think we've come to see over time that no matter whether when you mheshimiwa, you're just a normal person. If you're a VC, you're a VC. And if you see, and if you look forward and see something you like, you'll be bound to stare. It's just funny when it's actually caught on camera. So
yeah,
hey. And she's very beautiful too. So
yeah, and
Anita, have you noticed guys don't know how to feature?
I know, and they're just like
checking you out. She's just like,
you know, there's checking out someone side eye, nini. These guys were just blatantly staring.
Sasa wakifurahishwa na hapo, unataka uangalie magoti.
Hapana, akiwaiwai.
Well, there's some people who are into that.
So afai kuangalia magoti.
Ukiangalia magoti sasa uta have fun. Kuna fun, kuna kautamu fulani tu.
Okay, for most people.
You know, it's a man's personality. Hata kuna demu yako. Then kademu kapite. Unajipata umeangalia ndo unasema, this was my English teacher.
And that is how YY became single right here on the trend. Moving on to our next story. Now, schools have reopened and two girls nearly achieved the Githeri man's level of attention. The first, this young lady, Hilda Gasheri from Materi Girls, who has since been made NEMA brand ambassador after a photo of her using banana bags as a bag on her way to school went viral. And then there's this other unidentified girl who's pictured on a boda with an alcohol bottle in her skirt pocket. My friends, Anita, talk to these young people. I can see it in you. You want to go.
I just get so angry every single time I see a young person trying to do very grown-up things. Just be a kid when you have the chance to be a kid. Go to school, study. I mean, alcohol is not going anywhere. Do you know that when you turn 18 and you're out of school and you've finished with university and you can afford your own booze, the booze will still be there? It breaks my heart to see young people do such irresponsible things. Do you even understand how you look in that scenario? It's just embarrassing. But for every human being who misbehaves like you, there's one who just makes us happy, and in this case it's the girl who decided to use the banana leaves to make a bag because she couldn't afford to buy one. Unfortunately, well-wishers came in and they helped her out. My God, thank you for being you. Just stick to doing those things which make us proud, and for those of you who are constantly embarrassing this generation of young people, I'm just praying for you.
As Anita catches her breath, Cindy, are we really sure that was alcohol in her pocket? Labda ilikuwa chupa ya vinegar amebeba. I mean, come on guys, come on.
You know, maybe she was doing titration.
Pipette.
But this is the thing. So this girl, Jeff, what did you call her name? The one with the banana leaves for her bag.
Hilda Gasheri.
Hilda Gasheri. So Hilda Gasheri did something very nice. She used banana leaves as a bag. Now she's the NEMA brand ambassador. Sembuse huyu. She's now going to be the brand ambassador. For who?
For what?
Nakada. Brand ambassador Nakada.
Nakada sindio.
Nakada should be looking for her, in fact.
Why?
Jeff, do you know, kwanza this girl is blessed. Mwenye alitumia ndizi ka bag, alafu akakuwa ambassador. Do you know how long Cindy has worked even to be just a brand ambassador wa Kiberiti?
Na hajapatiwa.
Why?
Well, let's hope after this show somebody will finally recognize that that's what she's been trying to do.
I know.
But do you know why such things happen, Jeff? Take a look at I will blame it on unemployment.
Okay.
Let me break it down. A parent has got very important things to do na 2K, na 2,000 shillings, as opposed to a school kid. Mwenye ni shopping tu na hakuna kitu ingine. Unaget? So this is a downfall to watu wakona biashara. Mtu kuna biashara, wazazi hawana do. Watu wao wanaweza afford pombe, juu wamepewa pocket money. Unaget? So mimi huwezi niambia ati nisiuzie mtu pombe ni under age na watu wazima wanunui pombe.
Wait, I have something to
Let me give you another example. Wait a minute. Let me tell you. Wait.
Just 1 second, why?
Let me finish.
Why?
Let me finish. No, I want to give you an example. An example. Go to a club in Kenya. 25 years and above. On Friday huwezi ingia because business is booming. Tuesday hata ukiwa 17 unaingia.
So it's the
So
bar
does that
owner's
make it
problem.
right?
You cannot,
doesn't make it
you cannot
right.
justify selling alcohol to an underage kid with
Exactly.
there is no money. It is
There's a-
illegal. Why are you giving in uniform? You're selling alcohol to a kid. Do you know what alcohol can do to one's brain at such a tender age? You cannot possibly justify that with there's not enough money in the economy, so when you get a chance to get money, you sell the alcohol. No way. The people who own bars, whether you own a liquor store, you should never sell alcohol to an underage kid. Worse,
Thank
when
you.
that kid is in uniform. My
There's
God, I don't
not
even
enough
see how you're
money
trying
in
to
the
justify
economy.
this.
Why?
Do you know?
Why? 1
Do you
second.
know?
Just 1 second. Why? Just 1 second on that. Cindy, go
Okay.
ahead.
Yeah, there isn't enough money in the economy. That's why kuna watu kwa barabara wanauza mkobero. And they are selling spare parts and they're selling what manner of stuff. You cannot justify giving a child alcohol so that you can make money. However, it is learned behavior. This girl did not just decide today I'm going to go and have a little bit of spirit and put it in my pocket. She must
learned
have
it
learned
from
it from somewhere. So
yeah.
maybe I can throw it back at you, YY, and say it's got nothing to do with the parents not making enough money, but what are the parents doing to teach their children values so that we can have, on one hand, a child who is using banana leaves and becoming a brand ambassador, and another hand, a child who is quickly becoming a Bantu dragon.
Secondly, let me.
Why?
I can argue as a lawyer, because kama saa hii ni supreme time.
Please.
Wacha niingie mood.
Hakuna
Hiyo
kitu
pombe,
kayo.
what
There's
if?
nothing you're
What
gonna
if
say
ilikuwa ya
about it.
motorcyclist? Alimwambia mbebe.
Hakuna
Na haikuwa
No.
yake. Mombasa, we have real juju. Don't you think those snakes not biting them is strange? Anita?
I would not want to know because I am petrified, like I said, petrified. It's like my greatest fear. I pray to God by the time he takes me, I've not seen one because I really don't know how I'd react. But apparently they're also trained ones, so they just don't bite you. That's why when you go to national parks, you can put them around your neck and take pictures with them. I was screaming so much when I went to one, they had to chase me away. They said I was scaring the snakes. So I was like, all right.
So I'm guessing you're not going to Mombasa anytime soon after this drama.
Actually,
Hey,
I
the
am at the end
snake
of the
was
month, but
dead.
God willing, all will be well and I won't bump into one.
Sorry, Cindy?
The snake was dead.
It was?
Yes, it wasn't alive. It didn't even wiggle. There's no way you can wrap a snake around your neck and it doesn't move. It was dead.
No, but I've seen that happen at
Yeah.
some of those snake parks where people take the pictures with them and the snake looks like a necklace. So it's just some creepy
I'm
stuff.
just mesmerized by the fact that a grown man put his leg on a car bonnet, butt naked, and quacked
You know, I
with
didn't
a
watch the
snake around his
video.
neck.
I just saw
Kazi ya
one
mtu.
picture and I was like, that's enough. Thanks. Cheers,
Ooh,
done.
Anita, we saw the video. Let me tell you, what YY said, Enye, there is unemployment. The economy is bad.
And for YY, kuna mtu hapa amesema una feel shy vile uko na turembo tuwili hapo. What's going on, my brother?
Hey, YY.
Kwanza tuanzie hapa vile Butita ukatia nani hapa? Nataka kukimbia naye temporarily. Anita and Shiro ni nani?
Anita.
Oh,
What?
Jimmy,
Anita,
Sisi,
Butita,
Okay.
you see.
Cindy utakuwa second wife.
Asante. I take that role. I second that role.
Okay, let's move
But
from
what's your
second wife
bank balance?
Manenos and move slightly to Uganda. And this story, guys, we just have to talk about. Prophet Elvis Mbonye from Uganda. Now, he's a self-styled prophet who has a very controversial lifestyle. In fact, I think he's outdone Kanyari. This guy's followers worship the ground he walks on. Most recently, photos were shared online of his followers kissing his shoes during a public event. Now, you know, like in most weddings here in Kenya, mnaambianga maharusi, you may now kiss the bride. In this church, on a regular service, my friend, you're told, nyonya lofa. Why? Unaweza enda hii kanisa?
Ngoja.
Eh,
Hao jamaa wananyonya kiatu.
kiatu ya pastor.
So hapa ndio ule jamaa, ule artist wa Kenya alipata inspiration.
Hapo, hat the band.
Ule wa baba nipe nyonyo. Dalari nikiwa.
Ama uliza kiatu.
Lakini this thing cannot work in Kenya.
Why?
Mapasta watatumia vibaya.
Kwa nini?
Kanisa hii leo nimeona mko na shida mingi. Haitakuwa ya kiatu, itakuwa ya mdomo.
Oh my goodness. Cindy, would you go to this church?
Hell no. Let me tell you. So I went and checked this guy online. Then he has this like 1 hour YouTube video, very Nigerian movies. He's checking you the next 6. Then he's like, prophet, whatever his name is, has prophesied, among other things, who will win the 2017 Oscars.
You're kidding.
I swear. He gave a prophecy of who's gonna win the Oscars. I'm like, seriously? This is a man of God predicting Oscars. This guy is a hoax. I honestly need to know, all those thousands of people in his church, are they blind? Did they drink the illicit brew that schoolgirl was distributing? Were they sniffing things? Is there helium in the air? This is ridiculous. Grown men, baba za watu, wanakaa chini, wananyonya kiatu. Hey!
Che!
I beg. Che, never.
Let's wait one second, Anita.
I don't understand. Is there some sort of brainwashing that goes on these days? Because almost every other time on the trend, we're talking about one other pastor or prophet who makes people do ridiculous things. Do you know, we were having this discussion recently with some friends of mine, and we were saying how back in the day, Jesus didn't even own a donkey. He was a servant of the people. Yet these days, pastors and preachers, they're living the rapper's lifestyle. They have a fleet of cars, a red carpet is put down for them to walk on. I'm just like, guys, don't you want to sit down and ask yourselves for like 2 seconds, what am I really doing? When it gets to the point where you're going to kiss somebody's loafers, he's not the son of Christ. He's just, you know, he's supposed to be a servant who's supposed to spread the word. And you find yourself doing all these ridiculous things, giving up your last cent to make these guys crazy rich. Just go back to the basics of the Bible and ask yourself, what is church and your Christian religion or whatever religion you're into really about? This is really worrying me. Like, where are we going at this rate?
And you know, Anita, I think this is the reason why, and I know, Jeff, you're going to talk about it a little later on, but this is the reason why we have Atheist Society of Kenya. How can we justify believing in a God whose representation is a man that human beings worship? Mara, CJ, which prophet has gone somewhere, we have to wash the street with detergent. Mara, I don't know, another
what
prophet
about the
giving
guy
people
for telling women that he wants to suck the evil out of them? I mean, come on.
It's just absolutely crazy.
It's ridiculous.
And you know, actually, when you talk about that, speaking of atheists, now following the Supreme Court ruling, a quote by the Chief Justice David Maraga went viral. The Atheists of Kenya also decided to share it. However, they omitted the fear of God from the original quote. So these people don't even believe in the existence of either Supreme God or Satan. It's just crazy. What do you guys make of this? Anita?
Listen, if you are going to omit a part of a quote, then just don't put up the quote in the first place.
Thank you.
It's just unnecessary. Just let it pass. It's okay. If you watch the news, you don't have to prove to us that you did. It's all right. It's never that serious. Because if you don't believe in what part of the quote says, it's unnecessary to put the entire quote and then circle and put an X. Just let it be. You don't have to get involved. It's all right.
Cindy?
Atheist Society of Kenya did the... It's like you go to a restaurant and you ask for a chicken sandwich, and then you take out the chicken, and then all you eat is the bread, and then you complain, this is not a chicken sandwich. You know, it's ridiculous. If you don't want to quote the whole thing, don't put it up. It's the same way, if I'm going to act a play by Shakespeare, and I change the whole, you know, the whole scripting, the whole lines, it's no longer a play by Shakespeare. So I feel this Atheist Society of Kenya, they're trying a bit too hard to prove that there is no God. Fine, we understand you have your own stand. In Kenya, there's freedom of worship, freedom of expression. That's your right, but you don't need to go ahead and now start changing people's quotes. Maybe you could just go ahead and live your life.
Okay,
and
why?
let people be.
Why? What do you think of these guys, Ban?
These atheists, I don't want to ambia.
Yeah.
They're the kind of people that don't believe in creation theory. Actually, there's no creation theory. Unakumbuka hizi vitu tulifundishwa high school?
Yeah.
That's CJ what theory, creation theory, and evolution.
Yeah.
Now, I think that the people who believe in evolution, ati tuli evolve, ati tulikuwa Australopithecus, tukakuwa Homo habilis,
Some of
tukaenda
us.
Homo erectus.
Anita, I know you know a couple of Neanderthals.
Then Homo sapiens sapiens. Now, these people have never told us that before Australopithecus, kulikuwa na nini? Did we evolve from a stone? Who nani alitupea breath? The first. So me, I believe there's God, and if anybody mwenye anapinga God, nikimpata hapa kwa corridors za nation anaweza itana.
9 students from Moi Girls School in Nairobi lost their lives after a fire broke out in their dormitory on Sunday morning. Now, to make matters worse, the incident was not an accident, as investigations later revealed that this was actually an act of arson. Now, this has sparked a national conversation on the discipline of children and boarding school life in general. Is it working or is it not, Anita?
All right, so I'm just going to give you guys a very brief version of this event, but you can find the story on www.capitalfm.co.ke/news. Mariah did the story. So it turns out it was actually a group of students in a WhatsApp group from that school. One of them being the 14-year-old girl who's the main suspect, had planned to torch the dormitory from August 31st, but they were unable to on that day because there was too much activity. So they postponed the torching of the dormitory to September 2nd. That is when it happened, right? And then it's very sad. The fire was lit from 4 different areas of the dormitory, apparently. And then this girl called 2 of her friends to safety so they can run away while the fire was torching the place. And it spread really quickly. There was perfume, sanitizer, and washing detergent involved in lighting the fire. And it's so sad. The 9 children who died actually died of suffocation even before the fire got to them.
Wait, hang on, Anita.
It made me very angry when I read that story.
WhatsApp group?
No, wait. Cindy, this is even going to make you even more mad. The reason why the girls chose to torch the dormitory is because they were tired of being in the school. And one of them even said, I've been trying to get my parents to get me out of this school for a very long time, to take me to school ABCD, but they've refused. So I'm going to do something that's going to shock them. I mean, killing your fellow students because you're tired of a school. I really think they should just go to jail regardless of their age and stay there for the rest of their lives.
Cindy, what's your take?
Are you saying that these kids burnt the school because they were tired of going to this school?
Yes.
It's got nothing to do with they were suicidal, as the stories go around. I thought it was a psychological thing. Oh my goodness.
This came out today, yeah. It's on our website. A reporter of ours called Mariah got the story from the cops. It's very, very sad.
That is like the saddest thing I've ever had. Like, seriously, we need to seriously look into this generation. Forget even about the arson, not even forget, let's talk about it. There's an arson attack, right? Yeah. Let's talk about the girl with the alcohol from school. Let's talk about a while back, right here on the trend, we talked about, you know, this bus, the Dundaing bus, it was a rave, girls had bangi in their pants, random things going on.
Sexual activity.
A lot of sexual activity. There's a generational gap. There's a leadership gap with these kids, growing up without their parents, growing up without a firm hand, somebody telling them, yo, I will spank the nastiness out of you.
And
for
Cindy,
a child to do this,
they were in a WhatsApp
absolutely
group.
Ridiculous.
And Cindy, what we're wondering is right now, because it almost seems like it's a blame game happening. Is it the parents' fault? Is it the administration of the school? Is it the students? Where's the disconnect?
Is it technology? Because now we have the Blue Whale Challenge where kids are killing themselves.
Yeah,
there is something seriously amiss with this generation, and we seriously need to look into it, because there's a ripple effect. I need to bring politics into this. There's a ripple effect if you see the choices people make in the election, if you see the hate speech being spewed in social media. Most of it is by people who are younger than 35 years. Guys who just finished high school recently. Some of the things they say on social media, like, are you for real?
It's appalling.
It's appalling.
Absolutely. Why? What's your take on the issue?
Apparently, unless kama sikusikia poa, walikuwa kwa WhatsApp group.
Yeah, it was a WhatsApp group of 5 students.
Yes.
Wako na simu kwa shule?
No, it was on holiday.
They planned it on holiday. I don't know if they had the phones when they were in the school, but they planned it when they were on holiday.
Okay, so what I would like to say is this. Hakuna excuse ya ati unitolewe shule. Endo angalia report form yake. Go check the grades. Utapata grades zake pia sio worth yeye kumtolewa apeleke shule nyingine.
Right.
Ni mtu alikuwa anaogopa tu masomo from the word go.
But that should never be an excuse.
But no, it's not an excuse. I'm just saying that hana excuse ya kuchoma shule. You know. And again, this is a sad matter. I would like to pass my sincere condolences to the families, the bereaved families.
I would like to do that too.
And the kids, casualties, I want to wish them good health and better future.
Yeah.
Of course, absolutely. And of course, from the entire crew at The Trend, we wish all the families and friends of the bereaved and affected, our thoughts and prayers go out to you.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Moving on to the next story.
And they need counseling. Those girls need counseling.
Absolutely. True that. As we move on to the next story now, Michael Kateli. He's a photographer credited with several viral photos of President Uhuru Kenyatta, and he was at Uhuru Park taking photos of his wife when police officers showed up, and then the rest unfolded, as you will see.
This is my wife. I'm a Kenyan, I belong here.
Wachana maneno ya Kenya. Here because of security issues right now.
What security?
Sasa,
not a threat. Kenya is a free country.
Yeah.
Kenya is a free country. Where's can you harass? That's my wife, nampiga picha. I'm a Kenyan. I'm a free country. I'm a Kenyan. This is my home.
I understood you from the very word go. I was here.
What security issues? Tumebia nani? Tumebia nani?
Tulikutana hapa sana.
You can't harass me in my own country.
Tulikutana hapa sana.
And of course, from all of this, one of the questions that begs is it that most of us don't know our rights and can't stand up? We know when the police come and ask you certain questions. Anita, is there a problem with just knowing that this is your right and you're allowed to do this in your country?
There's that, and there's also, to some extent, please don't bash me on Twitter, to some extent, I understand why cops are always they're very harsh about just about anything that you may be doing that may look like a security threat these days, because there's a lot of insecurity that's taking place. There's that. But there's also understanding that certain things people are doing is actually not illegal. And you should be able to communicate in a way, because it seemed like a lot of back and forth and shouting and no one's listening to the other person. This one thinks they're right. This one is trying to articulate themselves and say, this is my right, I'm allowed to do this. So there should be better communication between the cops and the civilians in such a situation. And also it's important to know your rights, so you know when you're doing something that's not illegal, even if you end up in jail, you see he was removed because, I mean, there's nothing he was doing that was wrong, but there should have been better communication. But in some instances, it's okay to even just alert the cops that you see, hi, I'm here to take a photo shoot of me and my wife, so do not worry, we're not here taking photos of the area for any plans to do some sort of destruction later, to avoid a situation like that.
Cindy, even with what happened right now, is it like the cops are a bit too heavy-handed with what was going on?
Okay, I don't know about you guys, but I've been caught by cops. Innocent, but I was accused of jaywalking. Now they are 9 o'clock at night. You have dreadlocks. Of course, you're up to something. I have met bad cops. These cops are not bad. I'm not justifying that. Oh, let's put our rights down and let's, negate the fact that we have rights. Yet we have rights. But there's also a bit of respect. I don't know. I just felt the way the photographer was talking to the cops was more about his right to be right than about breaking the law. Yes, there's freedom of expression, there's freedom of movement, enshrined in the Constitution. And I guess that's what he was trying to portray. But there's a better way of portraying it than saying, no. It felt a lot like the way the politicians are in parliament when they want to put their point across and the speaker is like, make your point. And they're like, no. And you're like, make your point. I don't think the point really hit home. I think it was a lot of chest thumping. Yes, he had a right, but it was more about his right to be right. That's what I think.
Yeah, so communication is important.
It is important. You don't need to show, yes, that's your wife, yes, you're taking pictures. Fine, we've got the point. Okay. The cops think that it's illegal, so can we get an impasse instead of you chest thumping and saying, it's my wife, I got a right, I'm a Kenyan, this is my country. It's their country too, by the way.
And why? What's your take on this issue? My youth wanahangaishwa na makarao ama what's going on?
If you walk along State House Road,
right.
Utonemeandikwa the warnings that don't take photographs. If you violate, you're going to be prosecuted. Are there such warnings hapo Uhuru Park?
Akuna.
That's what I want to know first. Kunayo?
Akuna.
Any of you?
Akuna.
Akuna. Sasa huyu jamaa ana makosa yoyote. Unaget? And then hao makarao pia ndio wanaji, if ukarao angeenda mwambie ni aje, kuna security issues of late na ni mbaya kupiga picha hapa, or even ask them to delete the photo, that would have solved this issue. Other than mimi wacha nikwambie kitu moja, mimi polisi akikuja nipige kifua ati anipigie kelele, nitatoka mbio.
I know, even I
and
don't
that
think
is
I'd
a very
stand
smart
there
move.
I would not stand there to try and explain anything. I'd be like, you know what, boss, you're right. It's fine. I'll be on my way.
In fact,
call
on
the
that
Uber
note,
and I'm out of there.
To talk mbio, we move to the next
But
story
I'll
now.
even give them a lift if they want, as in I'm out of there immediately.
Yeah, at the end of the day, they were arrested. So this story of this is my country didn't help.
But
at that time, I don't think anyone cares.
No, guys, guys, let's move on to the next story now. And there's this saying that has gotten so popular, Vindu Vichenjanga. Have you bumped into any of former Governor William Kabogo's tweets lately? Now, the once tough-talking governor is nothing short of a motivational tweeter with tweets like this: peace cannot be kept by force. It can only be achieved by understanding. Another one: darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. At this rate, mi siwezi shtuka kamoja kakitokea from Governor Waitito, John 3:16. Jesus wept. Now, I don't know what's going on. Does anyone understand this phenomenon? Because he's taken a total change, man. Why?
Mi ukiwele kweli, nikiona Simba ameanza kunyenyekea. You have to think twice. I don't trust Simba inanyenyekea. I will give you a true story. What happened at my constituency some time back. MP, my former MP, alilose seat. Akisha lose akamua, anataka kupiga watu walivote na watu hawakuvote. Anataka kushare hiyo pen na wao. Akafanya road show, akasema watu wakuje party kwake. Akakuja kwa address akamwambia majamaa, there's up and down. Najua tumeanguka leo lakini nataka leo to celebrate. Ingieni kwa nyumba moja moja. Unaingia unapata na baunza ngumi. Anakuja pale na nyaunyo. Alafu unatolewa na back door. Ndio usimix na wataja chapwa. Unakumbuka vile tulikuwa nafanyishwa nini experiment high school. Usimix na watu wajafanya ndio usiibie exam ati kuna watu wanapigwa huku. I don't trust Simba.
Cindy.
This reminds me of, have you seen those guys? I'm sure you all have those friends on Facebook. When their relationship is all, oh babe, oh sweetheart, oh honey, things are all well and good. And then when they break up, they become philosophical and they start posting Bible verses. I think William Kabogo, the former honorable MP, is just a case of, when you break up with your significant other, all of a sudden those two emotions, those twillings, not even feelings, twillings, they start making you very philosophical. You go to church, went home to Akesha, but when you've made it and you have the money, boss, you don't even remember God. This is just a case of a jilted lover, I feel.
Oh my goodness, Anita, what's your take?
You know how they normally say in good and bad times, just stick by God. But it's very human. When things are going well, you forget Jesus Christ. But the second darkness comes into your life, you remember, there is a man who can save me from this situation. It's so weird, but when you're going through a situation which you cannot believe is happening, Bible verses really just, they give you the comfort that you need. So it's okay. If that's what's going to help him during this very difficult time, it's okay.